So you want to do the intro?
The opening? Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Doing it like normal.
Sure, you can
All right.
you can improvise. There's no holding you back.
All right.
You can do multiple if you want.
Hey everyone, welcome to the new. You interrupted me one more time.
Oh, we'll do multiples, I'm sure.
I'm
I
sorry
bet
for
you can't get it on the second take.
Second take, challenge accepted.
What if we
If Colin cooperates now,
Without interference.
Oh,
Uh,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
No interference.
Hello everyone. Ah, gosh.
I'm sorry.
I can't work with you people. It's like a llama.
All right. I'm good. You may
All right.
continue.
Hello everyone. Welcome to this week's podcast. You got Con
I'm here.
and Austin.
Hello, this is last week's specials podcast, by the way.
Incorrect, and it's actually not for this week. It's for this month. Boom.
I said last week's special, didn't I?
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
I
we're
said welcome
called?
to this week's special.
Yeah, well,
You know
screwed
what?
it.
Take 3. I've already been sabotaged.
Ah!
I've already been sabotaged. I had it all set up. All right.
Game over, son.
Yeah, I guess saying last week's. I don't know. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, they know who
We can
we are.
just we can do the last week's special podcast.
I mean, that's what
and be
we're
a finale.
called.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm, mm.
We can do it. We can do it.
All
Ready?
right. All right. All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to last week's special podcast. Joining today with me is Con
I'm on my best behavior.
and Austin,
Hello.
and of course, yours truly, Jed. Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
He's a bully.
I'm not a bully. The police officer said so.
So get this. I get
Awesome.
a text this morning from my sister telling me that her current boyfriend, who she's been with a couple years now, his cat
Hmm.
died this morning, and it's really sad and blah blah, and that, me and mum and dad should call him, and I'm like, are you
Our
serious?
boyfriend.
What?
I mean, we've met him and all, but no.
Yeah, but come on. You're not even that close or
No.
anything, right?
And I mean, if it's anything like me, when my cat died, every person that came up to me and was like, it'll get better. I'm sorry for your loss. All I did was wish death on each and every one of them.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone talking to me.
I don't like if something like that happened. I wouldn't want anybody to talk to me. It's like leave me alone.
Yeah. So I was
Like, there's
no.
nothing you can say isn't
Yeah.
found on a card. Just do whatever I wanted.
Now, Jed was telling me earlier, he's lobster man.
I'm Lobster Man.
Sunburn.
Oh,
Why do I even have to explain that?
I don't know. Lobsters have claws. They live in the ocean. Why would I put that together with sunburn? You use the lobster claws, maybe.
Maybe Americans think differently to Australians or something. I don't know.
You're a sunburn. That makes you a Kardashian. No, I don't. Shut up.
No, that's STDs.
Lobster.
Da, 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 da. It's because they're red.
That's not even a good one.
When you boil them, they go red. That's what you are. You just got boiled in the sun. Skin's coming off. Like the fly.
I did this thing today where I was outside working, and so my sweat, your arms will sweat, and the sunburn, it's up on my arms, by shoulders area.
Mm.
And so I'm like, oh, I'm real sweaty. So I was just kind of wiping my arms because they were real dirty, and then I felt over that sunburn, and it was all bumpy. I went, I feel like a lizard. I roll up my sleeve, and instead of the sweat seeping through your skin to actually, drip off, it was just collected under the sunburn. So there's nothing but bubbles of water
Ew.
under the skin.
Yeah.
You
So,
smeared shit all
so
over
what I
yourself.
did is I wringed my arm like you do a rag into my glass. I'm like, well, I'll drink this later.
Ugh.
Now we just gotta recycle, save the environment.
Just licking his arm.
Like a dog.
Ah, refreshing.
and then I threw up.
You did?
No.
Sunscreen
Mm.
is your future.
I love sunscreen. I did.
Or do what I do
I
and
always have to have sunscreen. I'm out for a while.
I'm gonna have to wear it crazy when I go to Disneyland.
Yes. Yes, you should.
That's the only thing
I was
I'm dreading.
When I went to Disney World, I ran from palm tree to palm tree. So I'd go under one palm tree, and then as the family passed and they got so like 10 feet away, I ran and caught up with them, and then I hid under another palm tree. And they're like, let's go to this ride. I'm like, I'll meet you there. So palm tree, palm tree, palm tree, palm tree, palm tree. And then I waited for him.
Every time he runs through the sun, this high-pitched squealing.
You see the smoke coming off of me. Disney workers just shaking their heads.
Like
Who's
this.
that,
Where's
that poor man?
where's Jed? I don't know. Let's follow this trail of ash. We'll find him.
I was like Edward in the sun. I was just sparkling and just
Sparkling?
oh,
He's taking
people
his
making
shirt
fun
off.
of me. I'm in so much pain.
What if we tried this or this?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like the early years of the Wii.
Yeah, some of the tech demos are cool. There's
To be
some.
fair, from what I understand, I mean, from what I've seen, the PlayStation VR has the most games for it than other VR game like systems.
I don't know. I think Steam recently has a bit too much more. The
Yeah, maybe.
the place.
I think that the PlayStation VR has like a lot like more like solid packages is what I mean. Like,
They've got a lot more
because I've been
demos.
watching some streams and like people are like playing all these different games that are like real game, like not real games, but like
Mm.
trying to be real games.
Yeah, because he's got this one where you load it up and you get a selection of I think 12, but they're all either mini games or tech demo type
Yeah.
things. And there's a few
Yeah, it's mostly
others.
just tech demo stuff
Yeah,
right now. That's why I have like no interest in buying anything VR yet.
yeah. I mean, it only technically just came out, so it's expected. Give it like
Yeah.
half a year, and that's when they'll probably have a few more things. But yeah, it is pretty cool, but the tech's not really there yet. It's not that strong, so
Well, yeah, for PlayStation especially, it's really weak
uh, it's more of the
compared to
headset,
the
I
like
think.
Vive.
Because I mean,
There's like, I mean, the PSVR has a lower resolution and
yeah,
just like a weaker like screen than the Vive. Like the Vive is the best one. Like
mm,
technically, the Vive is the best one, but
yeah,
also with the PlayStation, like they have to downgrade graphics in order to make it 60 frames per second.
yeah.
Like you have to have 60 frames per second, or it's gonna like destroy your brain.
Mm. It still does, because he
Yeah,
made
I'm
me
sure.
play this racing game, and it's pretty much just I think it
I
was
heard
called Drive
the
Club.
racing one. Everyone's saying that one's making everyone sick. I don't
Yeah,
remember what it's called,
I
but
think it's
everyone's getting sick from the racing one.
I think it's Drive Club. Uh,
Yeah,
the
like
minute when you get in it, it's okay because you can look around and stuff, and it looks all right. But once you start moving, I'm talking 5 seconds, you already know it's not going to be good because of the way it's
yeah, that
slightly
is so
blurry.
weird. You'd think a driving game would be the best thing to use for
Yeah,
that kind of thing, but
I did.
everyone's getting sick from that.
I played a lap, and I was like, I can't do this. This will destroy me if I keep going. Please take it off.
Yeah, I heard there's a weird blur with that one. Like it's like fuzzy.
It's horrible because of the way it looks. It throws you off, and it's not good. Not good at all. There's some
I
other
tried an
stuff.
Oculus
Let's see
years
how.
ago at a convention, but that's all. It's
Yeah.
just like some weird demo thing. It
That
was
would.
interesting. Like I actually got vertigo. Like I was on top of a building and I looked down. I was like, "Whoa!"
It's cool how it looks proper 3D and in depth, not like, those
Yeah,
3D
yeah. I mean, your
glasses.
brain just assumes it's like you're really there.
Mm.
So like, depending on the game, that is.
And if you move, you get a weird feeling too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's interesting. Um, Did you see that? You get slightly scared of depth.
What is it? The guy in the mall freaking out or whatever.
He's in the ocean. He's playing a PlayStation VR game demo, I should say. She. They say it's a female. I'm not sold on that yet.
Uh, uh, I've seen this one of like this Russian. They're Russians in like a mall, and this guy's standing up and he's like looking over a ledge or something in the VR, and someone like pushes him like in real life, just like kind of shoves him, and he's like, "Whoa!" And he just starts spazzing out.
That's the only good part when someone interacts with you. That'll freak you out. So one thing I've noticed with the horror games, have you seen the videos of any of them, like the Until Dawn or Kitchen, stuff like that?
The kitchen. Yeah, that's Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. Um, I played that over a friend's house.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of it before. He goes, "Have you heard of Kitchen?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that. You know, you cut up the food and you're preparing dishes." And he goes, "What the fuck? No." I'm like, "No, I've seen a 3D game where you do that." He goes, "It's not
Yeah,
that
I've seen
one."
that one.
He was getting
I don't know
angry.
what that's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kitchen's just Resident Evil 7 demo. That's all it is.
Yeah. So he goes, "Oh, awesome. Everyone gets scared playing this. It's like the scariest game anyone's ever
Yeah, I
played."
saw your tweet. You said it didn't phase you or whatever.
It made me angry because it looks really pretty when you're inside, but nothing's really happening that's scary. I don't know how people find it scary. It's beyond me. I remember just getting more and more frustrated. With the PlayStation VR, there's a button on the bottom that you press it and you can pull the goggles forward, which helps you remove the headset. And then you pull like
Uh-huh.
the top and the front, so it's like this clasp on your head, and then you can take it off. And I managed to do this one motion thing in an instant, and I pulled the whole thing off. I didn't yank it, I just managed to take it off like in a half second. It was like boom, boom. I was that annoyed. And I looked at my friend, and I just had this angry face. I'm like, for real, was that it? That was the scariest game that the fucking world has managed to create up to this date. I was just so angry. Couldn't believe that I'd sat through that.
I don't know. It looked a little. From what I've seen of it, it just looks extremely like what's the word I'm looking for? Tropey. Just like the like clicking off of like scary checklists. Like you got to do this, you got to do this. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So watching all the horror games, that the Until Dawn roller coaster thing, people seem to be hyping themselves up before anything happens. Like they'll turn their head and they'll make scary noises even though there's nothing happening. Like nothing. And they're like, "Ah, ah, ah." But I think I've noticed something. The last three games, horror game wise, that I've played, that people found super scary, actually got me angry playing it, which was Outlast, PT, and now Kitchen. I played them all. I didn't. I was forced to complete PT because I got bored halfway. Outlast I quit because fuck off that game. It's a joke. And Kitchen is too short, so it had to be completed. But each one, I got angrier the longer I played it, and was furious at the end. So I found whatever horror game makes me angry will make everyone else scared.
So that's you're just really scared, but your automatic defenses you default to anger instead.
No.
What you need to do then is if you want to write a great horror movie, just read it off the con. If he gets angry, you know you got a winner because that's
Yeah.
what's going to scare people.
I mean, like I was telling Jed earlier, the only game that's made me uneasy was Silent Hill, and that's mainly because of the atmosphere. And that was the first or second one, I think, both of them. But aside from that, nothing.
Well, yeah, I think I like both types of it. Like, I like the mix, honestly, the atmosphere and the jump scares. I
Mm.
don't like excessive jump scares, but I do like the intensity of like Silent Hill. Like Silent Hill scared the flipping crap out of me when I first played it.
Good games.
Like, I was so on edge the entire time I played that game.
Like I said, I think
There's
when you consider that person's in front of a green screen, so that you can watch them while you already know
well,
money's
all
in there,
Twitch
so I think
streamers
it's
have
more of a
most
performance.
most big time streamers have a green screen in front
Mm.
of them when they play a game.
Right.
And
So
like
I'm thinking it's more of a.
all the big time Twitch streamers, they'll have a green screen so that they can have the game and then them in it. So that's a thing. But it was just the acting was
Yeah,
scary to me.
they
Like I can tell when someone's like genuine scared and not, and that just seems fake to me.
they all
I
do
said
that.
I think a lot of it's performance, especially if they're making a lot of money for reactions, and
Mm.
then of course they're going to make a video like, blah 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 reaction to such and such game. It's all performance to just get
I wouldn't
hits.
say that
You wouldn't think
because
so.
you guys will hate me, but PewDiePie, he genuinely gets scared.
Nah,
Games. Like
I
that's
think
why he was
it's
so popular.
I think
He
it's
was no,
half half.
no, he was. I mean, maybe in some of them he used to fake him, but I've seen some where he does it and it's like genuine terror. Maybe in his earlier ones he faked it. I saw a recent one where he like got scared. It was like hilariously
The,
terror
th
on
the
his.
thing is, he might find certain things scary, but like I said, some people hype themselves up, so the reaction is stronger than it would be normally,
Yeah,
which is what
I
I
Oh
agree.
think
yeah,
he does.
yeah, totally.
Because there's no way something
And Joe, you
appears.
have to shut the frick up. You know that?
Because I mean, the amount of once you play a shitload of horror games, you know how they're going to be. So if you're still finding the
That's how
exact
I
same thing,
got.
I just
Like
don't.
after I played Amnesia, like not many games would scare me anymore, and
Yeah,
I play a lot of horror games on stream, and then I just get really annoyed with them because they weren't scary, and I just
yes,
stop playing.
it's exactly how it goes. The more you're, um, exposed to it. Like with me, for example, watching horror movies since I was a kid, nothing's scary anymore, but I still enjoy watching them. It's the same with the games. The more you play, the more you know what to expect, the less effect it's going to have on you. And he's played so many, yet he's still screaming the
Yeah,
same as the first day.
he plays like these really like I played this one a few weeks ago, and it like genuinely did scare me. It's called what is it called? I Am Scared? Is that what it's called? I think.
Best
It's like
title.
really low
Best
quality
original name.
graphics. Like the graphics are like 8-bitish. I'm like, this isn't gonna scare me, but it did.
Yeah.
It's like holy crap. It's like the sound design was really creepy too.
Sound is very
All these
important.
like experimental. There's these very experimental horror games like that indie people do, which is appreciated because
Mm,
it's like not the norm of regular dumb horror games.
yeah.
Like the game like messes with you. Like you'll crash on purpose all the time, and you have to like read like notepad documents to like figure out what to. When you die, the game crashes.
Yeah.
It's kind of freaky when it happens.
I think you need to make out with your bird or something. It's trying really hard to get your attention.
No, she's trying. I have the door open because it's hot in here, and she can hear my brother in the other room, and she's wanting to go in there.
Should put her in with him. Now you can be
And then
together.
when he's playing Destiny, he just gives up.
Did you see that video for the PlayStation VR, the one with the girl in the bedroom with you and you're like a tutor? It's a Japanese one.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. They
Yeah.
announced it like years ago.
Mm.
I don't remember what it's called. I don't. It's not released in the U.S. It's
Nah,
Japanese only.
it's never gonna come in the US. But my
It's
friend,
too misogynistic.
yeah, friend, well, it's not though. That's the stupid thing. Friend got it.
It'll be a reason.
The reason is it's not a sort of game Western people would play. Be like, oh, why are you with this fake girl? Go date a real girl, you weird person. Duh. Like
Oh,
what?
that's true.
Don't want to, because most of them are fucking psycho. So um he made me play that because he's got it. You don't know what you're doing because it's all in Japanese, but whatever.
Yeah.
But in the videos, you know how it shows it and it looks really nice. Um,
hmm
what they're not showing is the VR games look completely different when you're playing them because the blurriness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This game is the blurriest VR game I've ever played. It's horrible. It's like if you wear glasses and you take them off, everything's like fuzzy and out of focus. It's exactly like that until she walks pretty much up to your face, and then she's sharp and looks good. But everything around you is just a blur. That when she opens the door for the first time, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, limitations.
I just don't get it. I've seen a guy play it, and he's looking around going, "Oh my God, it looks like you're really here. Everything looks amazing." And then I put it on. It's like, this is the blurriest shit I've ever experienced. This is crap.
Huh.
The best thing about the Batman game is when you look up the character profiles, they turn into like a 3D image in front of you. And
Yeah, I've seen that. And you can like grab it and look at it.
yeah, you get
He
Harley.
was grabbing at it.
I was I was trying to use the Batman hand glove, in the air to paw at her breasts, but nothing was happening. And you can lean all the way in, so it looks a lot sharper and nicer, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got a face full of boobs. I
That made
did
you happy. Price tag worth it.
I did try to just see how much I can get away with in the actual world, because you can move like a yard forward and back and stuff like that to like with the girl in the
Yeah.
room, when she's talking to you, you're sitting on a chair. If you stand up and move around her, she's still looking at this blue figure that's meant to represent you in the
Oh
chair.
yeah.
So I was walking around her and stuff, looking at the model. It is cool
Yeah,
though.
I've seen a clip of a guy, and I think it was that racing game. Like he was in the driver's seat. He stood up, like sat next to it in the chair, and looked over, and there's just a headless drive to him driving the car. I think tech's not quite where they need it to be yet for VR.
Yeah, give it another one or two, versions. Because like the Oculus, I reckon
Yeah,
people will get sick
yeah,
on the first one. Now it's a lot better. It just needs to be stronger.
yeah. Higher resolutions, higher frame rate.
Yeah, the frame rate's fine,
We're good.
obviously, because it does run at 60. You can tell it's
Yeah,
very
but
smooth.
everyone says you need at least 120 frame rate to avoid the like long term to be able
Yeah,
to play it for a longer point. You need like 120 frames.
for most people, yeah, 120 would be better, but the high resolution would help because it would stop being blurry.
Yeah, the blur would really make me get a headache.
It's kind of painful. Some games look real shit. Others look fine, but
Yeah.
by fine I mean passable. Nothing looked awesome. Oh, there is like a waiting room area where you're in this sort of kind of a hall, and there's like a pillars all around you, and you're meant to select. I don't know if it's the on the inside you go to like demos from there. It's like a waiting room, and there's this round ball thing that comes at you, and every time you change whatever you're doing, the ball itself changes. Like it can be just water, or it can be a hard spiked thing, or something else. And depending on what it turns into, when you interact with it, like if you move your controller through it, it does something different. Like you can hit it and it'll bounce away. With the water, it like splashes and it moves a bit more the more you hit it, which is pretty cool. If this thing had
Hmm.
force feedback, it would be awesome because it really looks
Yeah,
nice.
I think VR like really needs force feedback. Like really.
And it needs the Nintendo Power Glove.
Yeah. It
Now you're
does
playing
need
with
glove
power.
stuff. Like, have you read Ready Player One?
I've not heard of him.
Oh my gosh, it is such a good book. Oh my
Book.
gosh.
I've not read it.
It's like like most people just spend their time in a VR world in this book, and like you have like suits and gloves to interact with things in it, and like
Mm,
there's feedback with the gloves and suits, and it's like that's what you need. Like you need feedback
yeah,
in the game.
some sort of
Touch
haptic.
something, then have the glove make it like so it feels like you're touching it. That'd be amazing.
Mm. Although if you are playing with gloves, it'd be good to put on like those surgical gloves and then the glove, so it won't get all really disgusting inside,
Yeah.
because that's gonna happen.
Yeah, but your hands sweat already really bad when you put a latex glove on.
Mm. But at least it'll stay
So
in
it'd already
that.
be a disgusting experience, which would already be a reason why it wouldn't want to work. It's like I'm gonna go play my games, and you put on all your medical gear. You're getting ready to perform surgery.
I'm ready.
Like,
Did
nah, I'm
he
just gonna
have
play a quick
that?
round.
Did he have that mech game? Where you like it's like a multiplayer game. You can like fight each the other players in mechs.
No,
One looks interesting.
I don't think he
I
did.
don't even remember what it's called.
There were a bunch I didn't try. I tried a few, but not everything. Yeah, I won't be buying it because I can't afford it for one,
Yeah.
and I think the tech is too early. I might
Yeah.
I'll look at the second one for sure.
You seen those like I don't remember what they're called. Like they're like treadmills, but you can like walk in any direction on it.
Yeah, it was like
They
a
were using
round
that
circle
with
thing.
some. Yeah,
That thing looked awesome.
it looked interesting, but like it had to be sloped so that you slid back down in the center, so
Yeah,
you'd stay centered in it. We could do something like that, like an directional treadmill with
mm,
VR. That'd
it'd be
be
nice.
insane.
It'd be tricky, but it'd be really cool. Because when you
Yeah,
start
you get a
moving,
workout.
it's because you're
Yeah,
moving.
that's goes against your brain. If
Yeah,
you're just standing, sitting, and you're moving in game, your brain's just like, no. Like, you were
it,
actually moving, and then in the game moving as well, then your brain would think it was real.
mm. I think it'd be cool as a sports game for sure. Like if you're playing volleyball or tennis or something,
Ugh. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad actually.
especially like a ping pong table where you don't have to move.
Yeah, yeah,
Bowling, any kind of
yeah.
activity,
Bowling wouldn't be bad either. Yeah.
archery, just anything. It'll come. I'm hoping. What I would fucking really love is a sword game.
Yeah. That'd be.
Even if it's
You'd
just a,
need like a sword controller thing.
well,
You'd feel weighty.
yeah, proper sword thing would be nice, but at the very least, the move controller would suffice. And, you could play like a kendo game where you don't have to run around, but just, dart forward a little
Uh-huh.
or back and, hit the thing away, smack back. Just,
Yeah.
I just want a proper sword game. I've wanted it since the first Wii came. I've gotten nothing. It's like the first thing you'd think Japanese would make. Samurai fucking sword game. Nothing. I don't know what
There
goes in
was
their
a
heads.
bad one. I don't remember what it's called. Red Steel 2. Like the first Red Steel was garbage.
Ah,
Red Steel 2 wasn't bad at all.
I saw that, but I
I
didn't
played
really bother.
that. I just scanned and play it. It was like you could like launch him into the air and
Hmm.
pretty good game.
Yeah, I want
Not
more of a
amazing, pretty good.
I want more of a realistic type one. I mean, Konami had a really good arcade one where you press the foot pedal, your character would dash forward to stab, but you would move the sword controller and you would parry people and stuff, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
And you'd think, they've made that, just port it. Nothing. Instead of a paddle, have the button on the controller to dash forward. It's not that hard, but they didn't do it. And I reckon that would have taken off.
Yeah. I don't know.
I should be a developer.
Yeah, I think the Wii missed out on a lot of potential games. Instead, they just went for gimmicky party games half the time.
Mm. Hopefully this VR does what all that stuff should have.
Hopefully. I wonder how well that sold PSVR.
In Japan, it's sold out.
I'm sure that flipping
Yeah.
teacher game.
They're gonna have so many of those.
Yeah, I'm sure that one company could just do nothing but make those type of games and just
Yeah.
rich.
And the funny thing is they're making another one where the character is male, so all the girls are gonna buy this like crazy.
Mm,
So already you've got both markets absolutely
yeah.
destroyed. It'll be huge over there. In the West, I'm seeing more, horror stuff and shooters, and that's about it. Maybe some puzzles.
Yeah, yeah. There's that one Valkyr game, the space shooter. Did you say you played that one?
Oh, the
Like your
Eve. No, yeah, Eve.
was it Eve?
Eve or Elite?
Oh yeah, Eve.
One of the two. It's nice. It's basically like a first person, if you remember Descent, that game, the flying one. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so you can
No.
you
He needs to
it
tell him I'm upset with him for the language he used on Facebook.
You want me to tell Khan you're upset because he dropped the F-bomb on Facebook?
Yeah, he needs to watch his language. I cannot be
Uh,
with someone that's using the F-bomb.
Khan used the F word. Oh no.
it's a bit hard for me
I
not
don't
to
know.
use it.
I don't know if you know this, but it probably just slipped out. He like almost never uses the F-bomb.
Yeah, that's true.
Never, huh?
I mean, he probably wasn't even paying attention to what he was typing. It just Slept right out.
Oh, I just slept right out.
Yeah.
Right, right.
We keep it really PG-13 in here.
Right, right.
Many things slip out when I'm with her. You can tell her that.
Yeah. I'll tell it when I punch your tongue with some pliers.
What were we saying? I forgot.
You guys were asking about some kind of space game
Oh
called
yeah,
Eve or something?
you can completely move the entire thing. You don't really get vertigo because it's in space, but it does give
Yeah.
you a weird kind of feel because the spaceships are moving at the same time. But once you adapt to that, and if you've played Descent, which is an old, completely 360 type space game,
Yeah.
you will get used to it. It looks nice.
Yeah, it did look nice.
It's
Looked
it
interesting.
is blurry, obviously, sadly. Not like the videos show where it's sharp and gorgeous. But in this one, it's a bit blurry. But I think as a game, it would be pretty cool.
Then it's settled as a game. It would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'd certainly
Yes.
give it a shot.
Yeah, I think that VR could really benefit from a lot of like cockpit shooting, not cockpit driving or mech games.
Yeah.
Just sit in place and feel like you're in a cockpit or something.
And the fact that you can move and like interact with like levers and stuff. You don't just, press it and it moves. You actually, hold down the button on it and then move your hand and it moves with it. So you could do a whole lot of stuff with it.
I know War Thunder had VR support, and that's exactly what they use it for. So,
Mm.
like, when you're doing airplanes or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
which I think would always be really cool to try.
It'd be nice. I mean, first person view on that game is a bit tricky because it's hard to look around and control at the same time. Whereas if you're just using your head just to look around, that would be cool.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
natural. It's like a whole nother controller.
Yeah.
Right. 'Cause I mean, in cockpit-based games, you always want to be able to look around in the cockpit anyway, so it would be like
Yeah.
really beneficial. Like I think Elite Dangerous would be a really good game to use for.
Yeah. That's what annoyed me about that Drive Club game. It because it's already a game that's out and this is just a patch to make it, 3D. They didn't make it so you could grab things. You were still using the controller and the analog sticks instead of grabbing the wheel or something like that. So that was a bit dumb.
Hmm.
I mean, even holding the controller up and moving it like a wheel would have been good enough.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard like numerous complaints about Drive Club. Everybody's complaining it made them sick and it just felt weird and off.
Yeah. And it wasn't made for 3D, so I can give it a pass.
Yeah, but you think, how's it pass a development stage like that? How can you have a bunch of people going, so how's our Drive Club? Well, Ted only threw up twice, so I think we're getting better with that frame rate problem.
Yeah.
Good enough. Send it out.
Only twice.
I'm sure the bad press will still get us a good sale because of the gimmick.
Yep. It's just strange that some games look blurrier than others. Like The Room, for example, with the girl. It's not that impressive graphically. I mean, it looks nice and all, but there's nothing happening and it's static and it's not very wide and large, yet it's the blurriest game.
Yeah, that is weird. You'd think the ones with most motion would be the blurriest.
Maybe
But-
it's something to do with the engine. Maybe they don't know how to optimize engines for depth.
Could be.
Like I said, it's early, so... Or then maybe it lacks a lot of RAM. Maybe it needs that.
Well, they got the, like in console games, had the anisotropic range.
Filter.
Yeah, you can see like a couple meters in front of you getting sharp, and after that is slightly lower grade. You can see that invisible circle around you. It's exactly the same with the VR. The closer you go, the more sharper it gets. You move back, suddenly blur. It's like, oh, crap.
You know what it needs? It needs the expansion pack like the N64 had.
Yep, plug it into your head.
There you go. Get Nintendo on it. Hey, speaking of,
I
the
normally do.
Nintendo Switch just
Yeah.
came out, or just got announced. What do you guys think of it?
Oh,
There's not enough info, really.
from what I saw at first, I don't know. It's just like typical Nintendo, like just trying to break the norm and not doing like a typical console.
Hmm.
Like, I would love if they just made a console with no gimmick or anything to it. I'd be like, holy crap, you know?
I would love that too. We already got 2 consoles that do that. They already feel that need. And let's be honest, Nintendo doesn't have a third-party support large enough.
But the reason they don't have third-party support is because of the gimmicks. Third-party devs, they make games for every platform.
Yeah.
Well,
And they
yes
don't
and
want to
no.
have to do the extra work to make more gimmicky stuff for the Wii U, so they just ignore it.
Yeah.
Well, in a way, yeah. But then you got the 3DS versus the Vita.
The Vita
Nope.
got abandoned, yeah.
The Vita is probably less gimmicky. It's just a big screen. It had the touchpad in the back, but it's still a
Vita's-
big screen.
That's most because Sony just ditched that. They
Yeah.
didn't support it at all.
That system is nice.
It was
Anyway,
really nice.
but at the same time, the idea is really intriguing. But I mean, it's using cartridges. There's no way it can be that beefy of a system with how small it is.
Mm.
I
It
don't
might
know.
surprise us.
Well, I mean,
it's definitely not doing any 4K.
Well, it's definitely. I think I saw like 720 max.
yeah.
I'd like as predicted specs, but that's just
I could see that.
there's nothing confirmed, obviously.
Maybe 1080 upscaled.
Could be, yeah. I mean, I for
Also,
one,
the funny thing is that they sat and showed Skyrim like crazy, and Bethesda never made any sort of announcements. Like I think they denied any involvement of Skyrim being on the system. So it's like, what the heck?
They're just showing the game for other consoles on it.
they released a list of all the publishers that are working with them. I didn't see Bethesda's name on it.
Oh, that would be quite a little scandal, wouldn't it?
Mm. All I
But
saw-
yeah, I don't know.
It
Depending on
reminds me-
price,
yeah.
we'll see.
I mean,
Price has got to be what, 300?
maybe.
It has to be 300 or lower, or I won't be interested in it. Then again, prices probably will drop soon, quicker.
Mm.
For me,
they drop
it-
their prices often.
It's pretty much like what the Wii U probably should have been. 'Cause
I mean,
it's just,
everybody expected that out of the Wii. It's like, oh, so I can take the controller and play the game anywhere, and it's like,
right, like no,
not
you gotta
really. No, you can't do that. But
just stay within Wi-Fi range. It's like,
Yeah,
what's the range? About 8 feet.
yeah,
Mm.
pretty much
So-
the same room.
I think it.
So
But I reckon it looks pretty cool. The fact that it can be like a portable, if you walk around with your 3DS, you know what it's like. With this thing, it's got a better screen, and a lot more. You can put the cartridges in, so that it didn't say if there was touchscreen. I don't think there is, but
Yeah, I don't know.
there has to be.
It would be interesting. I'd assume there'd be touchscreen. I
Yeah.
really
I
would
assume, but it's not a system that needs it. I'd say if Nintendo could cut $30 off the price tag or whatever by not making
I
a touchscreen,
really
do so. It doesn't
I
need
just
it.
really doubt that there
No.
wouldn't be touch because they're trying to go tablet route,
Yeah, and
and
if you
I
look
mean they're trying to compete with tablets. It looks like,
if you look
and
at
that's
that's what
another
they said.
thing. Seeing all this, it makes me wonder if like Apple or Google are gonna start doing their own thing now. Like, here's a tablet with control methods on it now. Like, because anytime Nintendo does something, anytime everyone tries to copy it.
it's true.
You notice that?
Yeah.
They always try to get copied after they unveil something, like motion controls, analog stick even. But I really wonder if like mobile companies are gonna like, hey, we can do it too. It's gonna be a whole different ballgame now.
Well, Shield was doing it, or the Nvidia Shield.
Yeah,
was
Shield
doing
did, but it was
before
the
even
same room as
Nintendo.
well, wasn't it?
Mm.
And that's one of the things, like, when I first saw the Shield, I'm like, this is cool, but I couldn't justify purchasing it, even though it had all my Steam game access to it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those deals like, what's the battery life? What's the pros and the cons? And that's why I worry about this, is that looks like both controllers use batteries. The screen's obviously got to use a battery. You got 3 sets that
Yeah,
you're
that
charging.
battery life too. Yeah.
Mm.
So you're saying, like, I can take it anywhere and play it for 2 hours. Like, wow, great gimmick. And I think that might be a big downfall to it, because then the biggest accessories for it would be battery packs.
Yeah.
And it's just making it heavier, making it bigger. And is it really worth taking anywhere if you can only play it for a couple hours? And then if the battery goes bad and you need to replace it, can you? Or is it Nintendo going to have it all, sealed away,
Yeah,
unremoved?
I think It would really benefit to have removable batteries and be able to take like extra batteries.
Oh, easily, but they probably want nobody to actually open up their system.
Nah.
Like phones do that lately. You can't even remove
Yeah,
batteries
which is
from most of
bullcrap.
their
It makes a
phones.
lot of people
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take like
Can't.
the tablets that are out, like obviously the iPad and all that, graphically they're really good, and I don't see any reason why that thing can't look really nice as well. But the fact that you can carry it around, and unlike how they had the PlayStation 3 and the Vita, how they said, when you're at home you can play the game, and when you go you can play the Vita version, and the saves you can transfer back and forth, and that only did it with a few games. But with this one,
Yeah.
because it's cartridge, you can do it. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
and that's a really
That
really
really
cool.
is cool.
It will bridge
That
the
really
gap
is
because
cool.
it takes the programming portion out of the equation. You're
Yeah,
playing the same game
and
everywhere.
you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi sending the signal either.
Yeah.
So there's no, you know,
Like everyone was speculating at first, the dock for the TV would give it more power for like
That doesn't
I
make
don't
any
know
sense.
graphics,
Nah.
frame rate, something while you're hooked to the TV.
that thing's
I
just
mean,
a,
it
But I think
could.
later it was confirmed that it's just
It's
a
just a
dock to
dock.
hook, like just
Yeah.
it's just an audio out or video out pretty much.
all it is a dock
Maybe a
and
charging dock
it's
with.
it's
Yeah.
a
Yeah, yeah.
recharging dock, nothing else.
But then again, it's
But
like,
again, like
let's hope they don't get their
Nintendo has
batteries
suffers-
from.
Nintendo suffered the last few generations because of lack of third party, and I'm just afraid it's gonna happen again.
They've
But you know,
they got some of the
lack of
stuff on
third
the
party could happen.
stores here, for price wise, and I noticed that special controller they have that they showed.
Mhm. Yeah.
Normal controllers here are like $70, $80, for the PlayStation, the Xbox, and all that. This piece of shit is 120.
Well,
God.
What?
dang.
Yeah, and you're gonna probably get two.
yeah. It's
So,
pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
looked at
there's
it.
another thing also. How it showed you how you can like disconnect each controller on each side, and then each side is a different controller.
That was
They're
awesome.
Yeah.
so tiny though.
Yeah, they're
It
tiny.
is
so
really tiny. I can
tiny.
imagine it won't
If you
be
have
very
big
comfortable.
fingers, you're gonna have problems with that.
When I saw that they
Also,
had,
it makes you wonder what like games are gonna like support that control scheme. Because what if a game requires more buttons?
Yeah.
most
Well,
of-
interestingly enough, and you see it in the trailer, it looks like even those tiny controllers have shoulder buttons.
Yeah, I heard that. That would be
Because you can
Very
see how they're
beneficial.
holding it. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow. So, but then again, like, what are you going to do when you're playing this game and then your buddy's controller's battery dies? Can I open it up? Can I put new batteries? Is it going to only have, what's the battery life? Is it Bluetooth? Is it,
yeah.
That's
these
definitely
are important
Bluetooth.
questions.
When I saw when they took the two controllers off and then two people started playing, I just got a massive flashback of those old handheld things that Nintendo used to do in the 80s, and you could play, that you'd like those the Mario Donkey Kong ones, and you could open them in half
Yeah,
inside
yeah.
with the called up ones, and you could play with friends. It blew me away. I was like, oh my god, I want that so much.
Yeah,
Oh man,
I mean,
I'm 12 again.
I think the social aspect of that alone is a
Yeah,
big deal for people. People like the game, but it like takes away from friends and all that. But like, you just carry that around, take two controllers off, and play with another friend anywhere you go.
Yep.
Pretty significant.
yeah.
I'm
You-
probably like robotic right now, aren't I?
At times, but you're doing all right. You're not like completely cutting out, so it's okay.
It's possible. Again, I'll go up to the developer. How creative is the developer? How serious is it with, the hardware?
Yeah.
There's three
Like with
things I reckon that really, really will affect that. One, obviously, battery life. The other one,
Yeah.
touchscreen, because that draws in the kids. Because you see them all playing, the iPads and stuff, and they're there for hours, just tap, 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 tap on the most easiest of shit, and you can't get them off. Every kid has, a tablet, and this would
Pretty much.
this would help with the whole family type thing, so they could sell it to, for the kids as well. That would be a massive draw. And the other one, for me at least,
I think games would be a big deal.
games,
What
yeah.
the games are. Then again, it did show like a Mario 64-esque game, and I'm just like, oh yes, please.
Mm.
I
It
could
would be
really go for
interesting.
another Mario game.
Yeah.
Mario 64 game? Heck yeah.
I think it needs, they didn't mention it, there might be like an SD card slot, um, but
Mm, I'm gonna say
definitely
no.
it needs the ability to be able to play movies on it. Like, you know, if you've ripped them or something,
Like Netflix,
AVIs.
that would be interesting. There'd be like Netflix apps or something.
Netflix will
I
be
could see
there.
a Netflix app, but I mean,
Yeah.
keep in mind Nintendo was approaching that with the Wii, trying to like in Japan having the TV channel surfer, and they canceled that like 6 months later.
Yeah, but
Nobody was
Yeah.
using
Netflix,
it. It was
it's
junk, and it's just not their territory. But a Netflix app that could be done.
it'll be there for sure.
I don't think they'll do an SD card just because they want to try and cut piracy, and that's an SD card is just a doorway to start tapping into the
Yeah.
Yeah, I
system
don't
for that
know.
reason.
I don't know.
But having that as a portable media player would be legendary.
I don't know. There's a lot of good tablets already that can do that far easier probably than what the Nintendo
Yeah,
Switch would do.
but why bother having all these things when you can have one that does everything?
Yeah.
I guess simply because Nintendo wouldn't want to pay licenses
Because I got a couple
for
friends
any of the
who
264s or
I got some friends who
any of the
just
codecs.
absolutely trash Nintendo nonstop, and they hassle me. Supposedly, I'm a massive Nintendo fan, despite me,
Oh, you are. Yeah, that's a joke.
Yeah,
In a parallel world,
like they'll mention like this new game that's coming out on PC, like yeah, looking cool, looking excellent, and then they're like, I kind of won't play it. He's too busy playing Mario 64 still. I'm like, fuck you. It's like I've never even finished that game. But the thing, one of them said, if this thing could be used as a portable media player, I would buy it straight away. So there's that whole other market that they're going to miss out if it can't play movies, with their own. But you won't be able to upload custom, codecs. So it'll have to be a firmware update over the net sort of thing, the same way Sony and all them lot do. But
yeah.
it really should have that ability because it is a portable fucking screen.
But so are the DSs, and Nintendo didn't do anything with that. And those do have SD
No.
cards.
Yeah, but they're too small to watch movies and TV shows on.
Yeah, but not for kids, not for tiny children. If you got your 12-year-old or 9-year-old,
Mm.
they don't care necessarily about that screen size.
Oh, now they do because they all own
Well,
tablets.
yeah.
Yeah, you mark down a list of all the things you'd like a tablet to do, and the top five, they really should put that in, and that thing will go off.
I'm just thinking, I don't imagine they will go that route just because they launched the only console last generation that couldn't play DVDs. And it had an SD card slot, and you couldn't put files or videos on it.
Yeah, but they said
It's just something.
they wanted a game
I mean, yeah, I
system.
know it's a different purpose. It had a different function,
Mm.
but that wasn't important to them. But putting photo editing software on it was. They
Yeah.
seem misdirected. They have like no real direction to go in. They're like they think this might be cool, so they go for that. And like it's terrible, yeah, but maybe it won't be so bad this time, and they go for it again.
Let's be honest though, like real. There's no way it can do worse than the Wii U. Like,
Yeah,
it's guaranteed to do better than the Wii U.
I'm still
Yeah, I'd say
disgusted I own that
absolutely.
thing.
I wouldn't mind not necessarily like owning, but having a Wii U in my possession
thing
for a
is,
little
I mean,
bit just to play
the Wii U is a
couple of
great
gems.
system.
But
It
It
has
just has so little games for it.
yeah, there are a couple
Like
really good
again,
ones.
games is a big deal to have good games on it.
Yeah.
You need to have good games.
Which is why I reckon that new one needs to have more purpose to it than just games, because we've seen it, time and time again. It just always fails on the game, range. So if it can do a lot more, then it'll be used a lot more
Yeah,
as
I
well.
think that would definitely be beneficial to have multiple.
it might, yeah, help it. But at the same time, the Wii U, the difference between like Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo is that Sony will help contribute money or developer tools or even their developer teams into games, making sure they get exclusives. Nintendo still charges the most for just licensing games on their systems. That's the difference. Like Microsoft will put money with developers to make sure they get 6 months exclusive DLC content first or other bullcrap like that. Nintendo never would do that. And that's one reason why developers do kind of avoid them. They don't think it's necessarily worth their time, and Nintendo just needs to compete more on a business level with developers, not just hoping that sales take
The thing
off.
is,
'Cause that's-
Nintendo they consider themselves just like themselves. Don't really think
Hmm.
about third parties and stuff.
They need variety. You
Because I
need
remember
it.
when they showed Wii U stuff and they showed Battlefield 4 on it at E3. I'm like, it's gonna play like modern games. This is amazing. No, no,
Did Battlefield 4 ever come out for it?
no.
See, there you go.
That thing won't run it. It'll
So
The
explode.
that
Wii U
makes me
couldn't
doubt
survive on Nintendo software alone.
Skyrim being on the Switch.
Nah.
Hey, thanks, Jinjo. Do that right in the mic.
Well, I mean, now look,
The
they
thing
got
is,
that.
though, there's no way. Go ahead.
They got the Zelda game, and that thing's like supposedly 9 times bigger
Well, I
than
mean,
Skyrim.
yeah, that's the thing about Nintendo. They are so they do their games so well that you don't really need third party, but
It'd be good.
it would help for sure.
Yeah.
They do it well, yeah, but you have to wait a while also for those
It's
games
true.
to come out.
And really,
And-
this generation, like Wii U, yeah, they've had some good games, but they've had some really bad games too. Like
Mhm.
Yoshi's Woolly World. I mean, I don't doubt that that's an all right game. It's just like not up to the like amazing standards that Nintendo usually dishes out. They've been dishing out a lot of filler games,
Yep.
Exactly.
like Mario Stamp RPGs
Or how about
and
like
all that crap.
Captain Toad's?
Yeah, Captain Toad. Just
Okay.
all these like games that aren't like triple A Nintendo games. You know, it's just like filler.
The
Filler
Wii
games.
U is an example that Nintendo can't sell consoles on their games alone.
They can
And
sell
I know we
handhelds.
think they can. Yeah, handhelds, but they also thousands of third-party games on that too. So you can't totally credit the success of the handhelds on just Nintendo.
Yeah.
But
I
the Wii U is an example of, hey, can Nintendo do it by themselves? No, they
Also,
can't.
there's another thing to consider. They're gonna. This is now their system. They're gonna abandon the 3DS eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I read that they're supporting the 3DS for like 1 more year.
Which
So-
is, I mean, I'm hoping that the new system can use the 3DS, cartridges.
Well, that would be weird.
'Cause
I
you
doubt
don't-
that's a thing.
It'd be cool, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, I don't think.
I
that
think
would
the
be a thing.
architecture is going to be too different. You'd have to create a whole emulator for it.
That's easy.
It
I
might
really
be
doubt it.
easy, but for Nintendo, remember when the Wii U came out and you had to download that massive patch just to include easy features that it should have had from the
Yeah.
launch? It's easy to say, oh, that's easy to do, but for Nintendo, it could be a whole Christmas season with just them figuring it out, trying to get,
You know what they'll
get
do?
it all their act together.
If
Yeah.
they allow 3DS games, you know what it will be? You'll have to rebuy them through the Nintendo shop.
Oh, 100%.
Mhm.
They love reselling their games
Yeah.
over and over and over and over. And over.
Still, the option at least would be nice. Because if I could play, like, say,
It would
Fire
be
Emblem
nice.
on that thing, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you don't need it to be in 3D. Fuck 3D. It's not even that good of a feature. And you can really get rid of the touchscreen. There's no point to that in majority of those games. So just have it as a normal game. Because Fire Emblem, somehow that's become a legendary game. And that needs to be pushed a bit more. And on a handheld sort of tablet thing like that, that'd be so cool. Especially that, what's
would
that other
be, but-
RPG? The big one that came out, the second one? Xeno.
Xenoblade.
What's
Xenoblade
it?
Chronicles.
Yeah, Chronicles.
That one actually didn't get that great of reviews, unfortunately.
But
The
stuff,
first one's amazing. I
Yeah.
love Xenoblade. I
Things
love
like-
that game.
release the first one updated, so it looks a bit nicer. Put it
Yeah,
on
they
that
released
thing.
that on the 3DS, but it was downgraded graphically.
It was, and it was frame rate as well was shitter, and so put it on, that new one. Just do that with a whole bunch of older games. It'll go off. It needs to have,
No, maybe. I think also older games only pack so much like power when it comes to a buying persuasion. Most people are like, let's get a new Fire Emblem. Why am I buying Fire Emblem that's 8 years old by now?
Yeah, but look at all those HD remake upgrade type games on the PlayStation. Those all sold heaps.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't think people buy a brand new $100 console so they can do BioShock again, but
I mean,
what do I know?
there's always people that haven't played it, and because the generations are so
Yeah.
spread out, that's a whole new audience that you can just grab again on a very simple, cost-effective way. That's the one thing I don't understand about
I guess we'll
fucking
just see.
Bethesda. They can release, and I'm going this with most Western developers. They could
Don't get me
release
started on Bethesda.
Skyrim into, onto the, let's pretend the Wii U or whatever for Japan, because that audience over there don't really have. They have, but they don't play that, and it's not because they don't like fantasy. They do. They're just not given the chance to bother, and it's also a bit different. Release it there. Change the disgusting character models into more,
Bethesda making better character models?
yeah.
I don't think so.
Just have a whole development side there who, change parts of games to make it more for that area, and you can make them.
Yeah,
look,
that they really need to do that.
Yeah,
to
imagine
be
having
more accessible.
your character looks like, Guts, for example.
I mean, you can do that with mods. I
Yeah.
did that.
Mods, they've got all
Skyrim.
the anime sort of look characters, and that's what the Japanese would love to have, not this generic looking, really ugly Western type, art that they seem to only do.
Man, Bethesda's awful at character phases. Like
Yeah.
seriously.
I mod their shit like crazy.
Mods
I always thought-
fix it.
I always thought their games lacked polish.
Their
That-
games always
like you'll
lack
see-
polish.
Yeah.
Bethesda are
Yeah.
terrible with
Like
polish.
feet don't touch ground.
They make
or
a game
hands
and
go
they're like,
through
okay, now we'll
walls.
let the flippin' modders finish the game.
Pretty much.
Yeah, which just means that the people who purchase the game are the beta testers.
Yeah. And now that supposedly the new ones can use mods, apparently. Release that in Japan,
Yeah, on consoles.
they'll go crazy. Because they love doing mods.
It's pretty limited on what they can do with the console mods, but
Yeah,
it's,
but you gotta
it's nice
think,
it's
though.
still there.
That just came out now for Sony and Microsoft mod support.
Yeah, yeah.
Is Nintendo really that kind of friendly to its audience that
Oh,
says,
I highly
"Hey,
doubt they don't.
No.
develop content for our games. We won't moderate it or anything."
Yeah,
You know?
Nintend's
I don't think
Nintendo's
so.
really bad with like shutting down fan projects, and
Mm.
YouTube channels.
YouTube
you know?
channels. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
the
not very
simplest
friendly.
things.
But
They're
they-
more locked than we give them credit for.
They could build on that though. Imagine having a paid mod, like $1 or whatever, or $2. And you could have, Mario characters in Skyrim.
Yeah,
Nintendo will get
That's not
half
gonna
the
happen,
money,
though.
Bethesda get the other half,
I
and you could run around as Samus.
don't think it would happen either because, well, they're
Yeah,
really protective
Nintendo
of
is
their
way
IPs.
too
though.
protective. Way too protective.
Mm.
They wouldn't want to put Mario in a game where such violence could be like he could decapitate people or something.
That's true. Well, I don't know. Maybe
I mean,
they'll
I
evolve.
understand where your concept's coming from.
It doesn't have to be Skyrim.
It's
I mean, it
evolve
can
or
be
die.
any game.
Yeah,
And,
like maybe
get Drive Club,
Platoon
for
Wars
example.
or whatever that one game is.
Instead of having a Ferrari, you've got, Peach's car. Off you go.
There you go.
Just
Fun.
simple things that they could make a lot more money on. I don't think they seem to care. Like, nah, we're rich, bitch.
Well, it depends on the attitude of the current CEO. They got a whole new CEO, so we'll have
Yeah,
to see
who
where
is the CEO now, anyway?
I don't know his name, and even if I did, I probably couldn't pronounce it.
Hmm.
But when you see him, he is the most stereotypical Japanese businessman
Oh, boy.
you have ever seen. He's got this constant look on his face of that "I'm so disappointed in my son" kind of a look. He's like in his 60s. He's bald. He's just, you look at him and go, that's the most Japanese I have ever seen a businessman be. He's like, no smile. Like, you're working for Nintendo. No smile. It's just like, it's like, I open theme parks and then close them. I don't care if the kids cry. Just,
They need to
Oh.
not do that. They need to get younger people as leaders, or at least a group of them,
mm-hmm.
or at least they shouldn't be the ones dictating everything because they don't know.
But that's the tradition back then, or even, not back then, but just there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Your senior staff or your respected elders, they control everything and they tell the younger generation how to be doing it right.
Yeah, but if you look at Sony and how they've been doing all these years, you'd think they'd sort of go, you know what, maybe there's something there for us.
You can't stop stubborn.
Then again, Sony did fail pretty hard. Well, I wouldn't say pretty hard. They just didn't do as well as they wanted during PS3 era. I mean,
But
360 was
they've done
obviously.
some improvements. You can tell what
Oh
it's
no, I'm
for.
saying
The
now
attitude change.
Sony definitely
Yeah.
is dominating this generation. They did everything right this generation.
Yeah, they're doing
Sure.
good. Except for
Well,
the
maybe not
Vita.
everything. Well, the Vita, I really was hoping more from it, but the PS Pro, that's the name of that new version they're coming out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see
People
that.
aren't happy with it because it doesn't even
Well, I
have
mean,
4K Blu-ray support.
Xbox is doing
That's
it as
Sony's
well.
baby.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
It's dumb. The Xbox can do the 4K Blu-ray. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't get it.
The Scorpio comes out next year though, and the Pro comes out this winter, I think.
I really hope this
Holiday.
isn't, what they're going to stick with for the next 5 years, and it's just like a couple year sort of thing. Because I'd like a new
It
console.
seems to
know,
be the
man.
trend.
Like
Because let's
like
be honest with you.
Microsoft wants to make like an upgradable system,
Mm.
and it's like they just want to make PCs now. That's pretty much what they want to do.
Yeah.
They want to make PCs without the freedom.
Because I mean, let's be honest, flipping PS3 360 generation was way too long. It's like a
Very.
10-year generation. So they're just, I mean, how old is the PS4? Like 3 or 5 years. Now they're already a new system. They're just trying to stay up to date with the tech.
I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
a
know.
sound strategy, but I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
I mean, I'm not getting a Pro.
Because-
I just barely got a PS. Well, not just barely, but I just recently got a PS4, and then they announced the Pro, and I'm so
Mm.
pissed.
Yeah, I wouldn't get a Pro either.
Mm.
I don't even own a PS4
My friend's getting one only
because I own a
because
PC.
he can trade in his old PS4, and when he does, the new one will just cost like $100. So he's like,
I wish
why
they'd
not?
do something like that here.
Yeah, we get some good trade-in deals here. It's the only reason I even have a Wii U.
Yeah.
It's like, what? You want oh,
The
shit.
PS4 though, guys? Like, I am shocked at how many games in the future I'm gonna want for it. I'm glad I got it when I did, because there's so many games I want for that
Yeah.
system.
I mean, for
Games
now-
I've already got.
There's not much. Later, there will be.
Yeah, I mean, I got a few games. I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, the new Ratchet and Clank and Uncharted 4.
That was good. Yeah, those two are really good. I played them with my
And
friends.
then we got the new Final Fantasy coming out. And
But that's going to be on
Last Guardian.
PC at one stage, so
Well, we don't know that for sure. We'll
all the
hope it
others
will be.
have.
Like, what did you guys see the teaser for Red Dead Redemption 2?
No.
I saw the announcement, but not the teaser. Since
Oh,
I don't
man.
own any of those consoles,
There's
I
no
haven't even finished the
gameplay,
first
so
one.
I didn't bother.
There is no gameplay, but the thing is, they always do that with their reveals. They always just show the environments,
Yeah.
and it looked good. But I'm a big fan of the Western. I'm a huge fan of Red Dead Redemption, and I love Western type games, so I'm excited for it.
I mean, I never played the first one. I played it a little bit, but I hated the
It
frame
would
rate
be,
and the
it,
aiming.
yeah, it would be an amazing PC game, like amazing. But there's a lot of auto aim bull crap, and frame rate is really bad. But
It was so shit that I really didn't want to play it. And everyone's going, it's awesome, like whatever. The aiming is really, really crap. And
yeah,
the
the
frame
aiming
rate,
is really bad.
I just didn't enjoy it. It's like, no, I'm not doing this.
I tolerated it though because I liked the overall game, and the story's good too, actually, which is nice.
I thought when I played it, I put maybe 5 hours in it, and I was digging the story aspect to it. But I set it down for some reason, and then when I went back to pick it up, I forgot how to do all the special aiming tricks, and so I set it down, and I never went back.
Now, my hope
I always
is,
told myself I'd restart it, but I never did.
since they're making a new one, I'm hoping that they decide to go back and do like a HD version of the first one, and then that'll get released on PC as well.
Yeah, that's what everybody's wanting to. But
Because then I'll definitely play it.
I don't think a game's going to come out on PC. The new Red Dead. Is
I'm
it?
sure.
'Cause
I don't
thought
know.
It was just Xbox
I don't
and
know.
PS.
Yeah, I mean that Rockstar always does that. They do not announce a PC version until after their game comes out,
Yeah.
just to sell as many copies as possible.
We got the whole
That's,
GTA's there, and they
Really
released
think it
Rockstar is pretty
matter.
scummy like that.
they released Bully after a few years, but Redemption they never did that one, which
Yeah,
was
it was a
weird.
different studio that did Redemption from the original like Grand Theft Auto peeps.
Mm.
I guess that's why they didn't do a PC version. I don't know.
Well, they're probably using the same engine as GTA, so
Yeah, you'd think. And five's a pretty dang good PC, honestly. Runs
Yeah.
really well.
I haven't played it, but I've seen bits and it does look good.
Yeah.
I'm just not a GTA person. I get bored after a
Uh,
while.
freaking A, that day though, we had the Switch reveal, we had the Red Dead reveal, and then there was a trailer for the new Wolverine movie, which looks so good, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't check it out.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's Old Man Logan. He's like an old man. Oh my god, it looks like in the comics, Professor X like is dead, but he like put his consciousness in Wolverine. So you think Wolverine just like, oh, but it's actually Professor X that he's talking to,
Yeah,
and I think they might be going for that route in the movie, which
it'd be
looks
cool.
awesome.
Well, one thing I've noticed about them is they never seem to do what the comics have done. They like to do something
Yeah,
completely different, and that
and
pisses me
I
off.
tweeted that earlier. I said I hope they at least do a good job with this because they've ruined so many Wolverine movies.
I didn't like the first two.
The first Wolverine movie was really bad, like
Yeah,
really really bad.
that was shit.
It started out great, and then they just destroyed it. And then Deadpool bull crap. They make fun of that in the Deadpool movie
Yeah,
because it's just awful. The second one's not bad. The samurai one where he's in Japan, that's not bad.
it was okay, but
It was
there's
okay.
yeah, it's not something I'd ever sit through again. I just couldn't do
It's
it.
just that they could do so much better with the Wolverine movie, and they haven't yet. And I
Mm,
hope they at least do it with this last one with flipping Hugh Jackman. This is
yeah.
his last Wolverine movie.
I don't
Well, we can
expect it.
say Sony can't make movies.
No, even the new
Yeah, they
X-Men one,
really can't, man. Yeah,
that
the Apocalypse
ah,
movie was not good. I
butchered.
didn't like it at all.
The comic story is awesome, and then they serve us this thing. I was like, what is this joke film?
It's funny when you say it like that because when you talk about how good the comic story is, it's like Sony, you understand half your work is already done.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
copy
know
I
it.
know,
how the
right?
scenes
It's like the
should look?
script's written out for
Yeah,
you.
the dialogue's written, the story's there. All you gotta do is casting and effects. It's just one of those things. I just don't understand because those movies they take not just millions of dollars but tens of millions of dollars, and it's like where do they come up? Like how good do you think this movie's gonna be? I'll be honest with you, we're probably gonna just break even on DVD sales. But if you give me the $25 million, we'll make it. Like, that sounds like a good investment. Our reputation doesn't mean anything. Here you go.
The director pissed me off in that Apocalypse movie. I mean, the fact that he made fun of the third X-Men movie that he wasn't part of. He reckons that it was shit, which is what he said. The third one's always crap. When they were coming out of the, you've both seen it.
The Apocalypse one, yeah.
Yeah, when they're coming out of the theater and they're like, oh, the third movie is always crap, which was a dig at, X-Men 3.
Yeah, yeah, the X-Men 3.
And I'm thinking, all right, you're shit for one. Second, you're doing all these things that shouldn't be, done in this movie. And he always wanted, this is what fucked me off. He always wanted to do the Dark Phoenix story because he had a little bit of a teaser in the second X-Men movie, and we were all looking forward to it because that's like one of the best stories. But he went and then shit on it completely in Apocalypse. When, they're like, draw it in from within you, let the Dark Phoenix out, and then boom, and I'm like, what just happened there? It was just dumb.
Summon this Dark Phoenix.
The fact that the director is going on and getting slightly pretentious at times in his interviews, like he knows fucking everything and he can't wait to do it perfect, and then he, serves that. Oh, my friend laughed because he saw my face when it happened because I've been looking forward to the Dark Phoenix, and then that appeared, and it was like ash on my face, and he just laughed as I launched. I'm not even a hardcore fan. I still raged. And he's like, I want to do the Inferno story. I'm like, no, don't fucking touch Inferno. That's my favorite story. I've seen how you butcher everything. Do not go near Inferno. I don't want you there. Walk away. Just walk away. Pretend
Yeah,
you
but
never
you know
even
what?
got that thought.
As long as those movies somehow break even or even make profit, he's likely to be the runner-up to get the rights to do that.
Because he's ruined so
That's how
many.
this industry works.
Half his choices have broken future stories that he could have done that were really good because he's killed off this character or that character just for shock value. And it's like, wait, they're integral to this storyline over here, which means even if he does do that, it's going to be butchered like all the other stuff he's done. Why is he even in charge? Stop it.
But it says a lot that Sony has actually given Marvel of their rights to do a Spider-Man movie. Because they know they just can't do it anymore. It's
Yep.
like, yeah, we can't make good movies, so here, Marvel, please make a good Spider-Man movie in our stead.
The only good thing they've done was...
Sony had nothing but win-win in that situation.
Yeah. The best movie they've done was
Because you think
Deadpool,
about it,
and they didn't
have
even
to
do
make
it.
a movie. When it comes to Spider-Man, they don't even have to make a movie, but they get money because Spider-Man's in the good movie? Like, why not?
Yep. They should just do that for all their characters. Just be like, all right, Marvel, you do it and give us a cut. We're shit.
Yeah, exactly. These Vitas aren't going to pay for themselves.
Gotta buy the new VR. And my boat. My sailing boat.
As long as the rich stay rich.
You weren't recording during the VR discussion. That would have been
Oh, I was.
good. Oh, you were?
I've
You
done
just
a
started recording
thing.
during Twitch or
Yeah.
Switch.
Now, whenever we start all talking, I just start recording just for the
recording.
hell of it. I'm hoping it's recording.
It's
I
a
mean,
good
it
idea.
is.
I haven't checked it in a while. This
I-
little red light keeps blinking, telling me it's not working. But I don't pay attention to that.
Well, I use Fraps when I'm doing the record, so the number's red and it's moving,
We're
which
playing
means
a lot
it
of
should be.
Battlefield 1 today.
I got
I
that.
liking.
It's like the gunplay feels really similar to Bad Company 2, which is really nice. I think that had the best gunplay out of all the Battlefields, honestly. So it feels really good to shoot.
Ultra violent over here, isn't he?
I'm just saying, you can actually
feels
hit things you
good.
shoot at, which is
Yeah.
good.
I was watching, a friend play it because when I got over his house, he was in the middle of one of the single player games. I'm like, hurry up, because I plan to play this. I don't want to watch you play it all. And he was in the tank stage, so he's just shooting people in tanks. And
Oh, is that the single player?
yeah, he
Campaign?
wants to get
Yeah.
that out of the way.
I haven't
before-
touched that yet.
Well, they say it's good, so I'm actually going
Yeah,
to give
yeah,
it a
I'm
shot.
gonna play it.
And so he's playing away, and every time he's shooting a person with the tank, I'm like, just part of me thinking, why couldn't they just design it just a little bit so a leg or an arm flew? Just make it that little
Yeah,
bit.
there really needs to be a gore system. That's what I was thinking when I was playing it today. There needs to be a gore system in that game. It would be amazing.
It's just very jarring to launch a shell and this guy do like 3 triple somersaults and then land on the ground dead, and he's in one piece. It's like that's not. You just blew up this house and the ground around him, and he's just one piece still. It's
I
like,
mean, even that one Call of Duty that was set in like World War II or whatever had like dismemberment, like you could blow legs off and stuff.
yeah. It's just weird that they didn't do
Never
it.
played that. I wanted to.
One thing I didn't like about it while I was watching him play, for one, infinite ammo. So he was just
Oh, geez.
shooting non-stop at everything. So who cares if I miss? Boom, boom, keep going. And he was pretty strong, so he was taking a lot of hits. I was like, well, okay, there's no strategy there. But when he did move out of the way because his health got low, you just hold a button and you repair really quickly.
The tanks are OP as frickin' this
Yeah,
game.
so dumb.
Ridiculously OP.
And he said,
Self-healing.
he said it has to be like this because, if you got damaged so quickly and die, this game would make me rage because it'd be really hard. I'd be going, no, look what you're doing here. There's a tank there that's not moving because its AI is retarded. You shoot it, move back behind that house, reload, move forward, shoot. That's all he had to do to be able to get past that little bit. But instead, he was just sitting there shooting back and forth, and when his health got low, he'd move back and heal. Meanwhile, this tank can't hit him because it's too dumb to shoot around this little brick wall. So, I don't know.
Well, if I was a tank, I'd just be shooting the main gun, take down the brick wall, no big,
Yeah, most things can be destructive in it, but there's things that aren't. So just, use a bit of tactics in it, and it'll make it a bit more, immersive because you're worried about dying. But this way, You're like this invincible, never-ending bullet fucking machine. It's like whatever.
Well, the multiplayer is enjoyable though. I was enjoying my time with it.
Yeah.
Though it is having a flippin' resource hog issue. Like it's using more CPU than GPU power, which is retarded. So we're gonna hopefully they should patch that eventually because it's just I keep dropping below 60 frames with a 1070, which is ridiculous.
Here's me with my 560. I'm gonna cry. I can't even play Witcher because I refuse to
You
play it
should
at
try.
25.
Witcher's ridiculously hardcore with system resources.
Yeah.
Though I am playing that at 1440p now with my 1070, and oh my gosh, it's amazing looking. Oh, that game is gorgeous.
I mean, I can only do in between 720 and 1080 because of my monitor,
Yeah, yeah.
and I have to play everything
Well,
on
you can
low.
super sample.
No,
You have
everything's
an
on low,
NVIDIA card. Yeah, that's yeah.
and it's still at 2530. So I can't play it. You know, one of my favorite series, and I can't play the third one because I don't want to play it at that shit fucking
Yeah,
performance.
you definitely want to wait for better graphics for that. Because that game is like jaw dropping. I
Yeah.
play that game and I just I don't even play it half the time. I just walk around the towns with my jaw open, like, oh my gosh.
It looks nice, but I can't afford a video card, so there's no point. So
Truth be
irritating.
told, I never beat the first one.
There's a special place in hell for people like you.
I'm sorry, I started it up.
No, you
I
can't say
remember
anything.
getting what I think kind of halfway into the game, but the combat system, the frame rate.
I don't know why people bash that combat system so much.
I liked
I
it.
did not have problems with it.
Yeah, I had fun with it.
I guess for me, I had a different expectation of the combat system.
You wanted a button mashing
so
thing.
I was wanting to make it something it wasn't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Like-
that was my problem.
They changed it
But
for the
I
second
suffered
one.
a lot on frame rate too. Like I don't know, it was very unoptimized. Like
So did you
even
ever
the
play two?
cutscenes were. No, I think I got the second one real cheap, like on Green Man Gaming or Indiegogo or something.
Mm.
But I told myself, don't play the second one until you play the first one. It's only fair.
Yeah, because it does
And so I
continue
haven't
its
kinda
story.
got around to it yet.
Yeah. I love that series. One of my favorite.
Yeah.
Witcher 2 or Witcher 3, I mean, probably my second favorite game of all time. No joke.
What's
It is like one of the best games ever made. No, I'm not even joking.
we're going Chrono Trigger as first, right?
Yeah, Chrono
Yep.
Trigger's my favorite. Second would be Witcher 3.
Just
Just to
making
make sure we're in agreement before I decide if I want to hate you.
Yeah,
'cause-
Chrono Trigger
still
will always be my
undecided.
favorite.
yeah, I've got I like to spread my favorite stuff between console or PC. I have it as a different. I can't say like Final Fantasy VII beats every single game I've ever played kind of thing because
Yeah.
I can't do that. So I have areas. There's the best games for that system, best game for PC, best for Nintendo's. And I do like a top 10 of
Yeah, that makes good sense.
yeah, because I can't decide one over another that I really love. It's like
Yeah, I really have a hard time with like deciding on favorite things, but
Yeah.
man, when it comes to those two at least, they're like my favorite games.
I need to play 3. I just need an upgrade. My system, I'm not kidding. Most of it is 9 years old.
Yeah, you need a rebuild is what you need.
I need money for a rebuild.
I mean, you got like some parts, you just won't install them.
The hard drive will not do anything to my performance. It'll just stop my system freezing.
That hard drive might do more for the performance than you give credit for.
Nah, it really won't. It
Like,
won't.
SSD.
Flipping
does the
SSD, have your OS on it is like night and day difference. Like it's like
Yeah.
push the button,
Exactly.
oh, there's your home screen. It's like whoa.
Yeah, things will
I'm
load
not used
faster,
to that.
but I mean, I already have an SSD in there. It's just faulty at the moment. But things still load fast, but I don't install things on my SSD. So I won't notice any difference game-wise. Because at first I did install Battlefield 3 on my SSD, but while loading was faster, the game ran exactly the same. It didn't matter because, after that it defaults to your RAM and video card CPU. And I still have the old 2500K CPU. You know how long ago that came out? Forever.
I was just getting ready to guess forever.
The
I
560
didn't
is
know the
what,
years.
5 years old now? I think it's getting 6. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
old.
my CPU needs a. I'm in need of a, because
What's,
I'm being bottlenecked by my CPU
what's yours
for
again?
my 1070. My
What's-
CPU is it's like one of the first Gen i7s.
That's the
Wasn't very
46
supported.
ones or the 60 ones?
9 something Bloomfield.
Oh, I can't remember. Mine's only an
What?
i5. Remember when I told you, I don't know if I told Austin, but I've got this alien action figure, and I accidentally dropped it from lap height while I was sitting down.
Oh yeah,
So,
you told me.
yeah, and his
broke
Into
it.
his
foot
bed.
just
I
flew
mean,
off.
how weird, right?
Super glue wouldn't put the foot back on, but there's this other like wood type glue, the brown one that's really, really solid. So I put that on, left it like over a night, and the thing is on there like solid. It can't move, which is
Oh,
good.
nice.
I don't need it to move. I put it on my shelf standing up. The next day I'm looking at it, and it's somehow leaning more to one side, and that foot that's glued is like slightly off the ground. So I'm joking that it's sore, so he's leaning to the side so it doesn't hurt it anymore. So I grabbed it and I lifted up. I'm being a douche here to something that's not alive. I lifted its leg up, the good one, and forced it with its tail to stand on its broken foot. I was like, enjoy that, bitch. I leave. I came home like an hour and a half later. It had somehow fallen off my my shelf and it was on the ground. Even though I hit the shelf to see if it would move and it was like full on solid, wouldn't move. And that was it telling me, no, I'm not doing this. Meanwhile, I've got a little fucking toy cat that comes with Ripley. It's probably about 3 millimeters wide, its feet, and it's still standing, no problem. And this alien just said, no, my sore leg, I'm falling.
Yeah. That freaking Vegito you got me.
Mm.
He just refuses to stand, so I have to like have pieces of paper under his feet to like balance him right.
I bought a bunch of those, those plastic things where you attach from behind so they can stand up.
Hmm.
I grabbed a bunch of those for some of my figures, so that might be worth getting for him. Ah, love my Silent Hill statues. They're so nice.
Still digging that nurse.
Man, she is delicious.
I guess that's also one that somehow fell into my bed.
Yeah. Under or on?
No.
On my bed. Caress the breast. If only they jiggled like that, like in the game. What? That's
It's
sexist.
funny. They do actually have figurines that will
Jiggly
have
boobs,
those,
yeah.
those
I
meshy
know.
breasts.
There's that Metal Gear Solid one.
Yeah,
What?
Quiet,
I didn't know about
Quiet
that.
has one.
Yeah,
Quiet
what's her
from
name?
5. Quiet.
Yeah, Quiet. The one that's in that
5.
skimpy outfit in the new one.
Like with the broken pantyhose and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you move, not move, but the breasts are squishy, so you can press it and they squish in. Like real breasts. So it's trying to be reality. But the fact that it's there was pretty cool, and that thing sold out instantly.
Japan, they are a master of their art.
I'm telling you, if you could release a figure, let's say Snake, and if you rub his crotch, you could feel it get harder. Every girl would buy it. Some guys would buy it too. It's true. No one admits to it. It would instantly done. Squishy boobs. Oh, groin. Imagine squishy Rhea.
Oh, look, it grows.
It would happen. You could buy bloody the Twilight toys, for example. Rub Edward's ass, and it's actually pliable and stuff. They'd buy it straight away. Take his shirt off. His pecs are squishy a little.
Already sweaty.
If you squeeze him, glitter comes out of him. I'd buy that.
The nipples just oozes out glitter.
That'd be horrible. My toy theater clips would be
He's the
amazing.
only Twilight figure I'd ever buy.
Yep.
Well, look, nipple squirting action.
It's fabulous.
You're my heroine.
Just have, what's her name? Bella? I don't remember her fucking name. I
I
haven't
don't
seen the
know.
movie. Starts
What?
with B, I'm sure. You just have her in front of him.
We all know why.
Bathe me with your glory. Squeeze nipples. Fucking worst vampire ever. Well, that was a tangent.
Yep. Needed to get out of you though.
I've been watching a whole bunch of movies lately that have been coming on Blu-ray because I missed it at the cinema. Each one I've hated more and more as I've gone. I don't know if I'm jaded against movies at the moment or if everything really is kind of shit.
You are.
Because I watched the Independence Day 2, which I was looking forward to.
Oh, that wasn't that good at all.
That was rubbish.
Yeah, it wasn't great at all.
Time out. We all knew it was going to be bad though.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
But
We hoped it would be good.
no.
It didn't make sense.
Even I know people like Independence Day,
First one's excellent. You
and I
shut
think
your
it's
hole.
because it's one of those. No, it's a movie that could have only done well in the time it came out. You watch it now; it's
True.
so campy, it's so cheesy.
It's meant to
There's
be.
so many flaws to its logic. Yes, it is, but that's just because that's how the whole '90s was.
No.
Now you come out with it, we're like, no, this needs to make sense. These characters don't have proper tone. The humor is not on par, you know. So
But Jed, will Boomer live?
Will he live?
all right, what?
It's a nostalgia critic joke.
Oh.
Boomer will live because he did a review of
Oh yeah, Boomer the dog.
the dog. Yeah.
I forgot that was the dog's name. I thought you said Boomer like on Left 4 Dead. I'm like,
No.
what's that?
Explode.
But exactly. And so the fact that they come out with a sequel because they're like, hey, I think enough time has passed. People kind of forgot just how cheesy this movie is. That if we do a sequel, they'll see it for nostalgia purpose.
No, they took the stupidity and raised it by 10. The fact that it took 20 years to put that out, that's the best they could figure in that time, made me rage.
Yeah,
I don't-
I was actually expecting it to be better too. I was pretty disappointed with it.
All they did was take the first movie and they made everything bigger that happened in it. It was still the exact same story, really.
Aliens come, gotta stop the aliens.
Yeah, it was a big ship. Oh no, this one's bigger, lands on half the planet, somehow doesn't
Yeah.
knock out the
It's
entire...
like they were it's like a kid made it almost. It's like we gotta
Yeah.
go bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like that doesn't mean it's gonna be better.
If that thing landed on Earth, it's already
Wouldn't
over.
it pretty much like take out the whole Earth's rotation?
Yeah, I know.
Almost?
Yeah, they kind of omit things like that, how it would
But-
completely destroy the planet.
I mean, like gravity would be real different. If it was that big, gravity alone, the way it would pull waves
Yeah.
would.
It's
That would be all you need to destroy Earth. You're destroying its climate.
worst
It
film.
needs some Michael Bay in there.
4 out of 10. I
What
hated it.
else pissed you off?
How about the fact that Angry Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got a sequel?
That was better.
I don't want to.
And still
I actually
shit.
wanted to see that. I wanted to see that.
It's
It
better
didn't
than the
look too
first
bad.
film. A lot better.
Yeah.
It's still crap, but it's still better. I didn't mind
I
sitting
mean, like,
through
yeah,
it.
you gotta tell me how much better, because I don't exactly hold the first film on high bars and praise. So to
I-
say it's better just means, it'll just give you less diarrhea than the first one. Oh, well, I like less.
There are some parts in it that are more cartoon accurate, which was good for, people like me who grew up with the early shit. Whereas the first movie had pretty much none of that. Now it was a lot better. Like the first one, let's say I gave it, 6. This one, I'll go with 7. So it's a bit better.
Well, so you said you saw a few movies that pissed you off. What else? Or was that it?
The one I saw last night was the Star Trek. What's it called?
The newest Star Trek. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty bad.
whatever
I
it's
saw
called.
that too.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was like, It was pretty bad.
It was
Really,
so
didn't do any good.
it was hollow for me, completely hollow.
The villain was so lame, and
Yeah.
it was just, it wasn't
Just
pretty poor.
I don't know. I've noticed one weird thing. Everyone who hated either the first or the second liked the third, whereas I liked the first two. I think the third one was rubbish. I don't know.
I was pleasantly surprised with the first one. I liked the second
First one
one.
was good, yeah. Second
I
one
haven't seen
wasn't
the
too
second.
bad.
I enjoyed them both for what they were.
I mean, I wasn't expecting much, and it's a reboot. I'm like, Hollywood's disappointed me so much in the past. This one's probably just gonna come out. It's gonna be eh. But like, hey, this is actually an intelligent film, and it's got good action, good comedy. I like it. I like it a lot. The second one's like, this is even better.
Man, I've been disappointed in. Oh wait, no, that's right. I saw Kubo, which is like one of my favorite movie in years. Oh my gosh. But
What's that?
other than that, Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I want to watch it, but I'm waiting for
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
that's one of my favorite movies in years.
I wanted to watch it
Love that
bad.
movie.
I hear nothing but great things, but I haven't
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it yet.
I saw the
Definitely
trailer.
watch it when you can.
When the trailer first came out, I was like, oh my god, this looks like the best movie ever.
But
Honestly,
yeah,
I
other
thought
than
this-
that,
I thought the opposite.
other than that, movies have been really
Special
mediocre
room.
lately.
No.
I went to
Well,
the
you know, it's just-
Magnificent Seven recently. That was the last one I went to, and that was wasn't. It was okay, I guess. Nothing special.
The Magnificent Seven. I think I don't remember that.
The new
A
one.
remake
Mm.
of the Magnificent Seven.
I'll watch it
I, mean,
just
I don't think I
because
saw any trailers, so I'm trying to. I don't have anything coming to mind.
it's
Cowboys.
just yeah.
Western.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, now I got it. I
Remember
got it.
the original had like Steve McQueen and all that, and
Yeah.
it was good. So I'm gonna watch it just because of that, and I like a couple of the new actors.
Yeah, I mean it's not terrible, but it's just kind of like, why was this made? It's like just
yeah.
watch the original.
I mean,
It was made to fill an empty slot.
Pretty
that
much. You got
movies
that right.
have right now. It's the same reason why people are gonna go see Rogue One.
that one
Yeah.
actually could be good.
Yeah, Rogue
It-
One does look good.
It could be
It does
good.
look good.
No, it could just be a decent Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie either. The Star Wars, the newest one, whatever it was called, I don't know.
I didn't like
It-
Force Awakening.
It's not. Everybody raved about it, but it's just like a retelling of the first freaking movie almost.
Yeah.
I'm going to totally agree with that because when that movie was coming out, I was checking out its Rotten Tomatoes. Like, man, this is getting hot reviews.
Yeah.
And then my friends were like, dude, I've already seen it twice. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I go to see it with Catherine, and we go to see it like at the end of its runtime. So the theater is practically empty. But there's like maybe 6 other families in there who are seeing it for the 3rd time. I'm like, wow, it's gotta
Yeah,
be really
I don't
good.
know,
Everyone's-
man. Like, I
everyone's
think everybody
sweet.
got a little too excited that there was a new Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
and that's why everyone was so happy about it.
There's
so
excitement, and then there's watching it in a cinema with a bunch of people, and they like it even more. Like my friend, he's watched a few movies in the cinema where he's loved them, and then he's watched them at home on Blu-ray with me because I hadn't seen them yet, and he's like, "That's actually kind of shit. Why did I like it the first time? Like, because you're hyping yourself up with everyone else that's there."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see it. I'm like, it's a good movie, but I wouldn't say like, oh, I gotta go buy this day one or anything like that.
Hmm.
The only complaint I had with that movie is, like you said, it's a retelling of the first Star Wars. I went, that new, what is that? Killer
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 Star.
something? I don't know.
Oh,
That
the
new Death Star.
I don't remember what the frick it was
Yeah,
called.
it was
I can't
something.
Star
recall.
Killer, wasn't it? Something
Star
like
Yeah.
Killer, something like that.
Which is like a
but-
throwback, because Luke Skywalker's
Yeah.
name was originally Star Killer.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
But they blew it up, and I understand that you gotta have your big finale. But I'm like, the thing was so huge. Couldn't they just more of like just disabled it, and it would still be a lingering threat for the sequel?
Yeah, I mean, it took 3 movies for the first one.
Yeah. So I mean, like, couldn't they just do that? Because now they get in the sequel, they have to make something even more menacing,
Mm.
or else it's,
Yeah, it's just like in
It's like,
movies
how
they
many-
just don't know. They don't know how to make better stories, so they just go bigger.
it's like
Like,
how
how do
many
we make this more
Megatrons you gotta
threatening?
kill?
Just make it bigger.
It just
Make
keep
it
making
bigger.
bigger ones.
Yep.
And that's just how I felt. I'm like, I think it would have caught me more story wise if it was just a disabled base, but it's like still a lingering threat. They're going to fix it. It's still moving around. They know it's
Yeah.
still out there.
I mean, it wasn't a bad movie, but I really think it got overly praised.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I was on board with it because I wanted it to beat Titanic in box office. So
I thought the trailer didn't look good from the beginning, but again, I'm a bit um, probably biased on certain things that I look forward to in movies.
no, not you.
Not me. So I went into it going, I'll give it a shot. I've watched all the Star Wars. I love the first three. The new three is shit. They have some moments, but crap. So like, yep, I'll do it. It's sci-fi. Any sci-fi I watch, pretty much.
Oh, now that you say that, that was my second complaint.
What?
Some of the ships in Force Awakens just real dumb. Like the stormtrooper transports. Star Wars is always unique in every ship. Like in every movie, you see some kind of new ship that's just really Star Wars-ish. But
Yeah.
and then Force Awakening, all the stormtroopers were getting transported on are these boxes, and like you could throw that in anything,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
you would never know you were watching Star Wars. Like, oh, that's the plumbing supply van from
Mm.
such and such movie. Like, that's all they look like. So I wish there was more creativity there that you could see newer ships.
And even
It just
the
would have gave more Star Wars vibe.
even the trooper um, transports in Clone Wars look better than that, and that's an
Hmm.
earlier, in timeline, much earlier.
Yeah. I mean, they redesigned the Stormtroopers, so it
Yeah,
would have been kind of cool if the TIE Fighters even got a little of a redesign.
yeah,
They still look
needed.
iconic, but they look newer. You could tell time's passed. Technology's advancing. They're trying to get newer, faster models.
I was pretty annoyed to see the X-wings. Well, this is blue now. Like, really? That's all you've managed in what, 40 years, 30, whatever?
Look, guys, I found some paint.
Done.
Epic. You know how much money we're going to save not building new ships? Like, just paint them?
Number one. Even we upgrade our fucking jets faster than that.
Like, whenever America throws one away, you guys are dumpster diving. Found a new jet!
Yeah!
Add it to the Australian arsenal.
Arsenal's the best. You shut your hole. We shoot fish out of the water with those things. That's how we fish. We're hardcore.
Oh, gosh.
There's
But
a
those are probably
crocodile.
my complaints. Other than that, the acting was good.
Yeah, I mean,
The
it's still a good.
effects were
It's still
good.
good. It's still good, and you get the warm, fuzzy nostalgia feelings.
Yeah,
Some of
you
the
know.
acting was good.
Okay, yes.
I didn't
I
like
think
Ray.
BB-8 could have done better on his delivery of lines. I
He's a
agree.
crap droid. You compare him to bloody, I forget his name, but the one in the new clone the rebel fighters. I don't know what it's
I
called.
haven't seen it yet. I'm
It
still
is,
finishing on
yeah.
clones.
The new droid is awesome. He makes this farting noise, and he's an absolute douche. I love him.
Uh, but timeout. I got to give them credit though that they actually used a BB-8 RC model
Mm.
instead of just CGI in the whole thing. In some scenes, you could tell that eventually the CGI would have been very noticeably bad because just too much running or anything. So the fact that they went to the extra length to make a working model
Mm.
to use
Yeah,
on set,
the practical effects in that movie are amazing.
they're
Like,
very
I'm so
nice.
impressed with it, and I approve practical over CGI.
Mm-hmm. Concur.
I didn't mind the villain. He was alright.
I want to see how he develops more in the second movie.
Mm.
Because he definitely has the I'm an apprentice feel to him. He's not a master of being a Sith. He's still conflicted in some
Yeah,
ways. So
yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see if he can build up to being a real serious villain.
I'm sure he'll redeem himself in the end.
Oh, of course, because it's going to be like how they're wrapping it up right now. Like, so what they
No,
do in the second movie?
I think they're
Okay,
gonna go the opposite way and make him just truly fucking angry.
but I did see the new trailer for Rogue One. The
I didn't
second
watch it.
trailer.
I'm purposefully ignoring it. I've seen enough. I
I
want to
saw
see
the
it. I don't
first
want to
one.
watch anymore.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
It's showing pretty much the same stuff you already know. But with that said, it's probably got me more interested in the movie now. I don't want to hold any judges. I probably won't see it in the theaters. I'll just wait till it comes out. Because I don't go to the movies very often. It's just too expensive.
Yeah.
Like, I kid you not, I took Catherine to see Batman vs. Superman. 2 tickets, no drinks, no popcorn. It still cost me almost $25.
Didn't it used to be
I
$5 in the
never
early
get drinks
90s?
and food at theaters.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, in the early 90s, it was like $5. And they're always complaining, people don't go to the movies anymore. Like, I bought the movie when I went to go see it. The amount of money I paid bought that movie.
Yep.
And the only benefit I got is like, now I got to watch it only one time this way around, and I had to see it 9 months early before it came out on video.
It's
But I
shit.
pretty much bought it, so that's why I don't go to the movies. I rent them now. I sound like an old man that still goes to Blockbuster, but
I just go to the afternoon showings with my brother. They're way cheaper.
they
Like
are
$6
cheaper.
or $7. And I don't buy any. I never get food or drink at theaters. That's just like so much. It's just a waste
Yeah.
of money in my opinion.
I snuck
refuse.
some in before, but don't tell them.
I wait for the Blu-ray. Only because my cinema's shit. They still haven't finished a new one. Oh.
I'll tell you this funny story real fast. I'm at the movies with one of my friends, actually a group of friends, and we're all sitting around watching it, and it's at a quiet part of the movie where it's just these people talking, and all of a sudden you hear someone popping a can,
Nice.
and I immediately go, crap.
Yeah.
That's my friend, isn't it? And I look over, and it's like we all did. We all look over, and there he is with a Bud Light, sipping it. Like, you understand everybody heard that. You ain't fooling anyone into thinking you bought that at the concession stand. Like, why'd you wait till the most quiet moment?